Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV, celebrity news, Chef Lewis Live, all the things. Hello, how is everybody? I see everybody from all over the country. Hello, Annette. Thank you for asking everybody to hit the button, hit the thumbs up, hit the like. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having an awesome Friday. It is nice and sunny here. A little bit chilly, but just perfect weather to go and meet my mentee for the last day of 2024, because next week is kind of a dead week where they can't have their mentors come. So she was there. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that last week she was not there. Actually, she told me she ended up coming, but she ended up being late for school. So I ended up missing her. So anyways, it was so good to see her and do some Christmas crafts with her and give her a little present. She is in 5th grade. So if you have kids, if you've had kids, if you understand 5th grade girls, it's kind of that transition age. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they're not little kids, they're not big teenagers, they're kind of in that in-between mode. So it's always kind of like figuring out, what she's into this year. You know what I mean? Anyways, but she is so sweet. And then I met my sister-in-law for breakfast afterwards, and I love doing that. Then we did a little shoppy for the kids. So my sister-in-law is that girl that is so into birthday gifts. She's so into Christmas. She's so into decorating. Her Christmas tree she showed me has like balls lined up in a circle going up it this year. It's the first time she's done it that way. It looks so cute. But she has done this, what's it called? The saran wrap game. She introduced us to that years ago. We've even done it for my kids' birthday parties, and it's so cute and so fun and so popular. But she has introduced it and does it on Christmas Eve when we all get together. And now all of our kids, there's 7 cousins, they're all 14 up to 23. So there's just a mix of what people are into, like candy. She does gift cards. She does, chapsticks. I mean, so we went to Five Below and just kind of hung out. Yeah, with the oven mitts. It's so cute. If you've never done this, look into the saran wrap game. It is so cute. You can do it for any occasion. It's really cute. And we kind of do it fair. We kind of do it where the cousins can all trade if they want. If they get something they're not into, I mean, everyone has different personalities and such, but we kind of do it to where they make it fair. But anyways, good question. Southern Belle says, do you take your mentee out of school for 30 minutes? No. So I don't know how every school district does it. I've only been a mentee at one school district, but I'm assuming all of them, you stay at the school with them. So our school district is amazing. The person that is the leader of it is amazing. She has talked to other school districts around the country about how to get their mentee program started. We stay in most of the schools, whether it's elementary, middle school, junior high, or high school. Most of them have a designated mentee room for our program, or you can take them outside and walk the track. You can take them outside and do football with them. You can, there's little areas you can sit at, but ours has little rooms that have chairs and tables and puzzles and games and cards and Uno and crafts that you can do and hang out. So it's really cute. So like I said, I usually put it on my Instagram to remind people, if you have 30 minutes a day, and so many companies are really awesome and supportive of, doing community service. So if you work 30 minutes from home, then search a school, figure out what age range you would be interested in, and call that particular school near you and ask to speak to the counselor and to see if they have a mentor program. And if they don't, maybe they can get started with one. So anyways, it's really fun, really good. I have been with my mentee since she was in 2nd grade. So Is mentee another word for mentor? Mentor is me. So I'm the mentor, and the mentee is the person being helped, if you will, if that makes sense. So anyways, very interesting. Good question. Southern Belle Cells. So it's a scheduled time for every mentee at the school. Yes. So in general, they will tell you to take out time from like science or PE or art or music. So they kind of give you a schedule and you make it work. And as you get older, as your child gets older, it gets a little harder. Like with junior high and high school and middle school too, the academics are obviously a little more serious than elementary. So it's a little less, opportunity to take your child out for that 30 minutes. So that you really have to be a schedule with them. So, and at the end of the year, the mentee and the mentor does their own personal survey, and they both decide whether to stay with the mentor program or to change mentors or mentees, or to not stay in the program. So for various reasons but my mentee and I have both chosen to be together since second grade. So I started with her at the beginning of the second grade, all of third grade, all of fourth grade, and now it's the beginning of fifth grade for her. So anyway, so if you have any questions about that, send me a message. I'm happy to help. Oh my gosh, Christina says it's 15 degrees outside and super sunny, but it feels like 0 outside. I'm okay as long as it's super sunny, because rainy and anything just makes it worse, right? Like, but sunny and 15 and 0 is pretty darn cold. So anyways, okay, let's get into the latest. I did just take a little bit of a snooze this afternoon, but I think the latest that's going on with, where did my notes go? Geez Louise. The latest, where's my notes? I know what's going on, but I'm like, where is that little note? With James Kennedy and Allie, is that she's saying it was a mistake, a misunderstanding. So I guess she's admitting that it was her, the female, that was involved, and it was their house. And they did have an argument after the Kathy Hilton party the other day. She says that a neighbor heard and got a little bit overexcited and called the police, and she is sticking by her man. Also, Bravo and Cocktails posted a picture of somebody's Dallas ticket to his DJ events, that the show was indeed canceled. But there's a story on TMZ saying that he is not canceling. He's even going to be at his next event on Saturday, which I think was like, not Baltimore, somewhere. I don't remember what it was. But I can't find my notes on that. So who knows? What was that? I don't know. I can't find my notes on it, which is kind of weird. Anyways, not that Allie wants my advice, but I really, really have been thinking about the advice thing, and I really am finding myself called and interested and excited about doing the advice thing. So I know I've mentioned it. Please give me all your tips for how to make it the best optional thing. I still want us to chat all the things that we chat about, but somehow I want to incorporate doing the advice column, the advice type thing, where we can chat and give each other advice, whether that's anonymously, with a first name, with, just email, where I change your name, change the stuff. So send me an email at Sarah, SARAH, from Texas @gmail.com. Ask Sarah from Texas @gmail.com. And, whether it's relationship stuff, am I going to be able to help you with online dating? Probably not. I've never done it. But, friends, coworkers, neighborhood things, sister-in-law things, family things. If you need advice on something, hey, what do you think of this? What should I have done? Do you think this was right? I just think sometimes it's a great idea, a great option to chat things with people outside of our inner circle. You know what I mean? that we don't have that. You can't ask on the school Facebook group, a situation if you can't do it anonymously, because sometimes we don't want all that information for sure. No, good question, because that was confusing the other day. Rebecca says, is James Kennedy and Jamie Kennedy the same person? No. Very much not the same person. Jamie Kennedy is the longtime actor and comedian that comes on Jeff Lewis Live, and whose girlfriend Alyssa is a part-time nanny for Jeff Lewis for his daughter Monroe. James Kennedy, also known as DJ James Kennedy, became popular from Vanderpump Rules when he was like 19 or 21, and he's been on it ever since. He has dated Kristen Doty, who has come out and said, finally. So that to mean she has some experience with his domestic issues or anger or temper or putting his hands on other people. Also, it's been very clear that the attorney for his other ex, Rachel Leviss, has basically said he's long had a substance abuse issue, and the production and everybody has hidden this and protected him, and it's not right. So anyways, we'll see what comes out of that. But basically, James is moving on. They've seen pictures. They must have paparazzi just loaded outside their house, which is awful, but expected. I mean, it's 2024. That's kind of what happens, right? They took a video of her yesterday, I think, outside taking a phone call, and she was like smiling and talking clearly at the house that they both share together. Then they got a picture of him today coming out to pick up his Uber Eats food, right? So anyways, yeah, Michael says, wait, he must have given some other advice. Hold on real quick. 1 day a week should be the advice day. Okay, let me know what day y'all think is the best. I was thinking Friday. Michael Riley says, or take 30 minutes and make it of all about advice. Get some questions lined up. Yes, that's why I want the emails. I'm trying to also figure out how to do the phone call situation. It's a little bit techie for me, but I really want to be able to do live phone calls during our show and podcast. So anyways, trying to figure that out too. Okay, I finally watched Salt Lake City, season 5, episode 13. Wow. I mean, I don't know. What a freaking mess. Again, another franchise where it's like two sides. So, they are going on this trip to Puerto Vallarta, but they've got 2 villas. Lisa Barlow is the host of it. She makes that very clear because she's got an itinerary, she's got a PowerPoint, she's in control of everything. She wants to make sure, you know what I mean? It starts off with Angie being very upset about being kicked out at Meredith's house, which we'll see them kind of make up later. Mary comes to Angie's house, which they become besties, apparently. They show Angie like prepping, and I don't know, she's getting flowers together, snacks together, whatever, which we know none of, Anyways, Mary just walks right in the house and then sits down. Okay. You can't fool me, production. I mean, it's just dumb at this point. We know there's cameras everywhere. We know they get a call sheet. It's like Mary is scheduled to come over at 9 a.m. The cameras are there watching Angie. She just lets her house open. She doesn't see production. She doesn't hear Mary being like, hello, hello. I mean, it was just, I don't know. Maybe it was for entertainment. And then it's like, oh, I was just preparing for you to come over. I had no idea you were already sitting in my living room. Just whatever. Anyways, she does go on about her son. I thought there was, or Mary, wait, did we talk about Salt Lake City already? No, I finished this yesterday. I'm like, in my brain. Anyways, yeah, Michael Riley's like, my door is locked at my house. Amen. Southern Belle says, Sarah, you should be on the production team. Y'all know my dream of television. Y'all know my degree is in radio, television, communications from 1995. So I have long been into TV and radio for sure. Anyway, so Mary is dumbfounded by all of this. Whenever she tells Angie about it, she's like, look, I told my son, tell me everything. And she's like, boy, did he. He's been doing lots of really hard drugs and things, and I'm just shocked. I get it, but a story came out that the reason he was on probation or had a warrant out for his something like that was because at 18 he had a DUI. So I'm assuming I assume Robert Jr. has always lived at her house, because often when you turn 18, depending on when your birthday is, it can be the beginning or halfway or the end of your senior year of high school. So you're living at home, I'm assuming. So I'm assuming as her parent, she knew about that. So I'm not trying to minimize anything, but I think she definitely knew that that had happened. The story I read about was that he didn't show up for the court appearance to get drug tested. And then when he did get drug tested, he failed that. So I think that's whenever some things came out about that. So it doesn't really matter. I just know that she knew something, was kind of going on. I think he was very much hiding it. I think she said he made straight A's. So in that aspect, he was really able to manage all of that and still, protect the stuff that was going on. But whenever she keeps bringing up that he said she was a stain, that he felt like he was a stain and that he tried to harm him or wanted to harm himself. And she's like, look, I tried for you. I prayed for you for over 4 years. Like, I wanted you so bad, and I still do. So it was just heartbreaking to hear that side of it. It was probably the most real. Like, Mary has always acted as if she's, to me, too good for it, or I'm not going to show everything, or I'm going to just kind of make light of this and show up at this, be participating in this, not participating in this, just kind of make jokes. Sometimes her jokes are very cutting, very rude, very judgy, very, whatever. But in this situation, I really am in awe of how open and honest she's been, and like crying when she was on Watch What Happens Live last week with Andy Cohen. It was really a lot. So anyways, yeah, welcome back, Mayboo. I haven't seen you here in a while. I think he's 21 or 22 right now. I think he was 18 when he got the DUI. Oh, bye, Auntie. Mayboo says sometimes you have to walk away for a while and let them face the hard knocks. Yeah, and I think Mary even talks about feeling let down. I mean, the mom guilt of it all. Ugh, boy, if I didn't relate to that. I mean, I think we can, our kids can throw a fit at 2 years old and we feel guilty, like, oh my gosh, I'm the only mom whose child acted like this in the grocery store. That's not true. But everyone's judgy eyes can make you feel like that. But also everyone else is like, well, I would have picked my child up and walked them out of the thing. Well, I would have had a kind talk with my child. I mean, everyone's got a solution except when it comes to their own kid, right? Like, if everyone had, write the book. If you're a perfect parent, write the freaking book, sell it for $1 million. I promise it'll be on the bestsellers list. Okay. They go to Meredith's house and she's prepping to pack for the Puerto Vallarta trip. She's got a house manager. Like, does she really? Does she need a house manager? Like, is it more of an assistant? To me, a house manager is like a huge property, almost Tori Spelling's, whatever that name of that property was. It literally had a name. Or, 10,000, 20,000 square feet, like where you've got multiple repairs going on all the time, updates, what have you. Like, I'm like, what? You've got 2 grown-ass kids. Like, what is your house manager for? You know what I mean? Christina Anderson says, oh, wait, no, hold on. Michael's talking about QVC. I'm skipping the rollers. Okay, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Tap my hands becomes this fiber that actually really does work. I have no idea what we're talking about. Callista products. Okay. Does she still sell it? I don't know. Jeff has a house manager. Well, Jeff is needy. Jeff likes people around him for comfort. I think Jeff likes conversation. And he does. That person, keeps the house in stock. She is the one that, probably if there's any repairs or anything, she's the adult in charge. That way somebody could come if the cable company needs to come, if a painter needs to come, whatever. She also is really good at keeping him together with things. So yeah, he's got a house manager, multiple nannies, multiple housekeepers, so Jeff is different for sure. Okay, let's talk Bronwyn's dog attack. I mean, why didn't we hear about this in real time? The video, the pictures, the description was awful. Like we had no video, we had no whatever of it. It looked like that dog must have had her on the ground and literally just attacking her on her leg and then her arm. Like it was all up and down. It was bruised. There was teeth marks. There was everything. And I'm like, knowing that the dog owner was at a dog park and left the dog and went and took a phone call, and then it did this to her, like that could have been awful. Like, I don't even know, but I'm just curious how she didn't post about this in real time, knowing that she was already a full-time rural housewife. But anyways, I heard somewhere that her husband Todd pretty much said, "Oh, I'm sure you're fine. It's just a dog bite. I'm not going to come to the ER with you." So her daughter Gwen had to go with her. And then when Gwen sent pictures of her, I mean, mind you, when we saw Bronwyn, she was cleaned up. It wasn't healed. It looked very recent. The bites you could still see, but I'm sure in real time it was much messier and gorier. You know what I mean? I'm sure the blood and the dried blood and the cuts and I'm sure it looked much more cleaned up. So knowing that she was seeing herself like that, knowing that she was probably telling Todd, "Look, this is really bad." I would think a doctor would be like, "Yeah, you need someone else here to comfort you." And he didn't come until he heard it was really bad. Yeah, it was really, really bad. I guess they weren't filming or didn't. Yeah, you would think they would have had her recovering. Like, even so, cameras were up. They were already filming the season. Yeah, why didn't they show her going to the doctor? I don't know. It was very interesting. Michael Riley says the back of the leg was unbelievable, and the arm, I was just very surprised how bad it was. Yeah, and then she still goes on this trip. But in the trip, at the one thing where they go to dinner, she wears a very revealing, tank top, spaghetti strap type dress. And I was staring because I couldn't remember which arm it was. They don't show the legs at all, but I was trying to figure out which arm it was. Then at one point they do show both arms and it looked fine. So I'm like, did someone put arm makeup on you? How much makeup did you have to put to cover that up? Because it was really, really bad, like awful. Anyway, so that was shocking. But even the end of it, they previewed the next episode, which I try not to watch, but I did want to see if that's where they get this information. I don't know where anyone got the information. If anyone has that or sees where she's talked about that Todd didn't want to come to the urgent care or the hospital with her, send that to me. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, we don't know. Yvonne Gal says, did they say how much time had passed between the attack and the trip? But didn't it seem like a day or 2 or 3 at them? It seemed very quickly. And then it seemed all fine. But at one point, she wasn't really moving one of her arms. I felt like it was her right arm. She was just moving her left arm. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so they get on the plane to Puerto Vallarta. They have 2 different villas. Lisa's very clear, I am hosting this trip. Bronwyn asks if she can bring a gift. I don't even think I know what the gift is yet, right? Did she say what the gift was? At least I feel like Bronwyn's gift is going to be a true gift, and it's not going to be Meredith Marks shit or the shampoo and conditioner from Angie K's salon or Vita tequila that she gets at wholesale. I mean, I feel like Bronwyn has nothing to sell. Like, I'm not even sure if she has a business or a company, or if she works with Todd, if she's just a full-time housewife. I'm not really sure. I'm still waiting to see these atrocious PowerPoints come to play, though. So, yeah, like I said, another girls trip, another franchise where there's two different sets of friends, which tells me you're indeed not friends, which we'll talk about the Watch What Happens live with Heather Gay and Brittany, who came on as friends. And I'll talk about something they said that proves to me they're not friends. You know what I mean? Oh, that's right. The fancy passport holders, which I thought was super cute. But again, that's more to me. If you're hosting a gift, that is something. But I just think she was excited. She probably saw it and said, I'm buying one for me. Let me get one for everyone else. But that is, I get it. I as much as I don't want to defend Lisa, I do feel like that is more of a hostess gift if you were hosting the party for the girls trip. Who cares? They were cute. Kind of wish they would have said where they were from, because I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Okay, Meredith, returning packing. Okay, let's talk the pettiness of it all. Meredith is upset that Angie K is basically like, oh, well, you were upset with me, but you were fine to take the gifts that I had for you. So it's a big, looks like a 30-40 ounce squirt bottle of shampoo and conditioner from one of Angie K's salons. Fine. If this was part of her bat mitzvah gift, though, I think that's a little weird. Like, I don't know what kind of a gift you give an adult who's having a bat mitzvah, because no one ever does that. But I don't think part of that should include your own personal shampoo and conditioner. But if it does, and you want to return it, why do you pack it in your suitcase and fly from Salt Lake City to Puerto Vallarta and then give it to her at the dinner table? Like, it was just dumb. It was literally so produced, so fake, so whatever. But when Angie tosses it back across the table, that could have absolutely broken glasses, whatever else was on the table, cut them, cut someone else, flown in someone's eye. Like, I'm like, girlfriend, we're not here to be nasty like that. There's no reason to. I think they're all just trying to keep their little snowflake, and it's really trying to get gross. Annette says, didn't she return the gift in the Uber also? Which gift in the Uber? You have to remind me. I don't think so. But I can't remember. Okay, so that was just kind of gross to me. And the fact that Meredith realizes or thinks that Angie needs to know that she's got some bullshit in her hair and she can't use sulfates because she's got keratin in her hair. Like, who cares? Like, she was just giving it, like, re-gifted. She was just promoting herself is all she was doing. You know what I mean? Wait. Mary Kate says, I'm reading this morning that Todd is being sued for $350,000 for his two dogs that bit two different delivery men. So maybe he was keeping his wife's attack quiet. Well, two things are very different, though. Even if, I guess he knew that was going to get out maybe, but just because your dogs have done something bad, if somebody else's dog does something bad about you, that's still something bad. Anyways, who knows? I just thought it was gross. Brittany and Jared are not together. Are they having sex? Are they not having sex? Is Brittany agreeing to Angie? Oh, you're dating three different men. You're hanging out with three different men. I feel like Brittany kind of agreed in the flashback. By the way, the flashback scenes of production are really good. I'm loving this rewind of like, and then they show what they said, because they're like, I didn't say that. And then they're like, like, oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, you did. But it did seem like when they showed the flashback scene at Mary's dinner, Mary's brunch gone awry, that Brittany agreed that I'm seeing three different people. My dad is seeing 8 different people. And so I learned it after him. I'm not as bad as him. And I'm like, at this age, probably seeing 3 men probably means you are maybe betting 1 or 2 or 3 of them, but she wasn't clear that she wasn't. So I thought it was odd, especially when she has crotchless panties at the thing and she says, "Oh, look at these. Yes, I wore them for Jared once." So you're not having sex with a guy, but he gives you crotchless panties and you admit you've worn them for him one time before and now you're wearing them again. Like, I don't know. I've never owned crotchless panties. Like, we've just never gone down that rabbit hole. Uh, but if anyone did give them to me, it would be my husband and only my husband. And you would assume you're having sex with somebody that gives you crotchless panties as a grown ass woman, right? It was very weird. It's like, do you want to be the slut? Do you not want to be? Do you want to be the good Mormon? Do you not want to be the good Mormon? Like, yeah, I don't like it. They're soaking. Oh, grown ass people. Y'all know what soaking means? It literally, okay, here's the vag. Here's the wiener. You just put it in. You can't move. Does anyone think that a man with a hard wiener inside of a woman's vag is not going to beep, 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 beep? I mean, even a little bit. So it's called soaking if that's all you do. That keeps your virginity in the eyes of the Mormon women. I don't know if it's in the eyes of the Mormon church necessarily, but that's apparently what soaking is. And there's something else called whatever, where somebody, who is coming in on you when you're having hanky panky time? Somebody else can move the bed to make you move, and that's not your fault. And I'm like, well, why is somebody walking in on you? You know what I mean? Oh my God. Andrea says it'd be good for older people with erectile dysfunction. Just soak it. Oh, but it doesn't finish anywhere, right? Like, and for a woman, like, there's no, sorry, that doesn't feel good. Just, oh my God, no moving wiener. I'm dead. I mean, seriously, seriously. Okay, Watch What Happens Live was Heather Gay and Brittany Bateman, who were supposed to be friends. They came on the show together. I don't think they're friends at all because Brittany announces like a collab with some hair company. I don't know if it's going to be a wig. I don't know what it's going to be about. But she says, and I've got a collab coming. Heather's excitement looked really genuine. But also, if you're friends, don't you tell your friends about an upcoming collab? You might seem excited on Watch What Happens, but it sounded genuinely like Heather had never heard of this at all. Like, she literally sounded shocked, you know. There was another thing where they said, where Brittany was saying that she was upset with Heather, and she was like, oh, well, we just haven't had time to talk since then. It was forever ago. And I was upset with Heather when she said that about me, but then I got over it really quickly. And I'm like, okay, I've got time to talk to my friends if I want to, and I'm upset about something. It's different if you just say, oh, I didn't want to talk to you about it. But if you're friends, you talk. I really think we're getting to where these people only talk. It's like Sonia. The first time I realized some of these people are not real friends is when Dorinda, Countess Luann, Ramona would say, Sonia just checks out when we're not filming. She won't text you back. She won't call you. She won't answer calls. She is like off duty. And I'm like, oh, well, how is that really friends? Because if I'm friends with people, I'm going to talk to them year round. Now, we all have those girlfriends that in ourselves that can go, 3 months, 6 months, a year without talking. And then as soon as we do, it's like it's on and it's like no time has passed. So I'm not saying that people don't get busy and friends, but when you just don't text back, you just don't answer, you don't make any phone calls unless you're filming, like it's just not friends to me. You know what I mean? Yvonne Cal says, it's a good friend right there if they're bouncing on the bed for you. I mean, yeah, it's like that's the ultimate wingman or wingwoman, right? Anyways, I guess Heather's got a new book out called Good Time Girl. She's been busy promoting it. I don't know that anyone read her first one. Did anyone? Was it good? Was it worth it? I have told y'all, I read Dorinda's book, really good. It gave a lot of insight about her personal life, especially with Richard. And I read Margaret Joseph's book was really good about her personal life and about business stuff. It was really a kind of a motivational book. Like it really was like, I can do this. I've had these downfalls. I've had these lawsuits. It can, you know what I mean? So, oh, I think that's interesting. Michael Riley says, I like the chubby Heather Gay. I think she's like Jessel. I think her personality has changed with the weight change for sure. And I don't know that everyone is loving it either. So yeah, for sure. Okay, let's talk today's Jeff Lewis Live. I think we're going to have time for questions at the end. So if you have questions, let me know. Again, if you have advice or someone you know that needs advice, email it to me at asksarahfromtexas@gmail.com. Yeah. Southern Belle says, what guy has that much control to soak and not move their wiener? I have so many questions. I mean, yeah. Like if anything, okay, I'm going to get, if anything, I would think they would do that and then she would beat him off. And then that shouldn't be considered, but I don't think they can masturbate either. I mean, as if that's not happening. Whatever. Not Mormon. So many questions. Oh, my light just went out. I got to go charge it. So there's my Patrick and Pole light from Amazon. Okay, Lynell was on with Justin Martindale. You would almost not know that Justin Martindale was there at all. I felt like she was she's very confident, which I love, very proud of herself, which I love. Do I know if she's funny? I really don't, because I don't know her material. I mean, I don't know her stuff, I don't think. I guess she's always been yes, thank you. Bravo and Stone says, what women wouldn't move her hips a little? Let's be fair. Exactly. I'd be like, let's get going. And I'd be like, and put your hand here and let's be clear. I would be like, hey, I'm getting off here too. I don't think the Mormon girls know how to get off, so they wouldn't know what. Anyways, okay, Lynell. I thought she was kind of boring today, very cocky. I felt like Justin was trying to get in the conversation. It felt like this, that Jeff and Lynell were, and Lynell knows Jeff can do things for her, right? Just like she talked about David Letterman introducing her to someone to get Lynell a talk show. Like Lynell knows where she wants to go in life, and she's going to get there no matter what. So I don't feel like she thought Justin Martindale could do anything for her. Didn't really know him, just kind of thought he was a sidekick. And I'm like, he would interject and she didn't really include him. I felt like it was Jeff and Lynell having a conversation, and Lynell's eyes never came off of Jeff. Like this was Justin Martindale over here, like, oh yeah, like he had stuff to say. He wasn't trying to overtake the conversation, but he would interject. And if somebody else would have said something, but I don't feel like anyone else, even Jeff, ever said anything, ever said much to him. But they did promote his tour next year. And in 2025, Justin Martindale's going on his first ever headliner tour. So he mentioned a lot of huge cities. So go to Justin Martindale's Instagram under his, what's it called? LinkedIn. No, LinkedIn. No, what's it called? Not LinkedIn. Justin. Oh, hold on. I feel like TMZ just said something. Not splitting. We know they're not splitting up, whatever. Justin Martindale. It's his, link tree. Thank you. So I'm surprised he only has 57,000 followers. I wonder if he promotes his Instagram when he's on tour, because I would like to think more people follow him. Anyways, his LinkedIn, his link tree, you can get tickets. And I don't know where all the cities were. Let me see. something called One Trust is coming up. And I don't know what that means. Maybe that's a computer thing. Okay. He starts in Arlington, Virginia in mid-January, goes to Chicago, Phoenix, Boston. That's all that's listed so far, I think. And then his podcast is listed. So, but I think he mentioned other cities. So anyways, yeah, do you think that's what it was? Michael Riley says they shouldn't have two comedians on like that. Luennell is established. Justin is not Luennell now, and she's demanding her own stage. Yeah, I think it was maybe not the best combo together. I also feel like comedians often have this world of their own, and I feel like they should have been two comedians that know each other or have some history together. Maybe somebody that opens for her would have been good on there. Um, yeah. Yeah, Debbie Kate says, I didn't like when Lynell said something to Justin to the effect of, don't you want to be like me? Maybe she was joking, but I thought, don't come for Justin. It wasn't funny. And I don't think she was talking to Justin because I don't feel like she ever talked to Justin. She was talking in general about people that just keep wanting to be openers and not headliners, saying, don't you want to be like me? Look at me. I'm successful. I've got my own house, all these things. You know what I mean? So Jeff said that Luennell could smoke a joint that she had found in the bottom of her purse. And Jameson was like, no. I mean, it is 2020. It's the end of 2024. You haven't been able to smoke anywhere for a long time, years. You definitely cannot smoke inside a workplace where technical equipment is. Like you could burn it down, you could make it smell for other people. I mean, it's very, very different. You know what I mean? And so I don't know why Jeff would say, yeah. I mean, first of all, it's going to have a very different smell and lots more smoke than what is he talking about that Gigi was doing? I haven't watched the videos from the last 2 nights. I've just been busy, but the videos where the commercial breaks are, the Jeff Lewis video, but he said that Gigi was vaping. And it might have been the CBD or THC or something like that has that smell that we all smell in big cities. But smoking a joint, Jeff's like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Can't we do it in the green room? Can't we do? I'm like, no. Like, I feel like Jeff knows that, yet he's just saying it. I don't feel like Jeff is into smoking weed. He never really talks about weed or drugs except for the gummies. You know what I mean? Oh, for sure. Well, I don't know. You know, he said, I mean, we know that Stu is a smoker, and I think he's more of a social smoker, you know, like with drinking and stuff. But Diane says, I doubt Jeff would let anyone smoke in his house. Exactly. But also, I think Jeff said he dated a guy for like 5.5 years that smoked cigarettes, and he said he loves the smell of it. So that really shocked me. That's very interesting. By the way, look at these. First of all, of course, I have a Christmas t-shirt on, you know, Holly and Jolly or whatever it says. But these gift earrings, these Christmas gift earrings, I have had, I mean, you know, I think they're from Avon. So in like my freshman year, my first semester of college, I thought, oh, I'm going to sell Avon. Somebody taught me into selling Avon. I spent $100 and something buying this kit, had my own separate account for it. That way I could keep my, you know, business stuff separate. I was walking the neighborhood, putting so many, you have to buy those samples, by the way, putting so many of these tiny little lipstick samples in there and everything. Hardly sold anything. I was spending more money than I made for sure. So I got a job at a jewelry store. But anyways, I think I've had these earrings since the early 90s, like 91. And I got a compliment on them at the restaurant that I was at with my sister-in-law today. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then I told her, oh my gosh, I've had them for like 30 years. And I felt like the biggest loser admitting how old I was. I was like, I'm that woman. I'm that girl that's like, oh my God. Yes, Michael Riley says Avon used to have great Christmas jewelry. I mean, they're this old and none of the rhinestones have come out. I mean, none of the paint is chipping. I mean, you talk about, I'm sure they were $4.99. You know what I mean? Like literally. Oh, that's so sweet. Where'd you get the shirt? I usually get my holiday shirts at like Christmas festivals. So probably the Nutcracker marker, but I don't really know. I just have had this for so long, so long. I don't know if Avon's still around or not for sure. Okay. The airplane thing. I think I'm a windows up girl. I like seeing the scenery. I think where else are you going to get a chance to see mountains from above? You know, the beautiful ocean from above, you know, the beautiful cities from above. So I definitely prefer that, but I also prefer an aisle or a middle seat. I mean, I will definitely sit by the window, but I think I prefer the aisle or the center seat. But I don't think I'm brave enough to ask a stranger to tell them what to do with the window seat. But I also don't get sickness from motion sickness. There's nothing about like having the windows up or down during takeoff or landing that bothers me. I just like to look because I think it's kind of part of the experience. And I think plane tickets cost a hell of a lot of money, so you might as well get all the experience from it. They did talk about Sarah Colonna's party is tonight, which is going to be a lot of chumpettes or chumpettes, chumps there. Tracy Tudor's very intimate party is tonight. Jeff's going to that. So very fun. They were not inviting Luennell as a +1. She seemed a little upset. It was kind of awkward a little bit. On the second hour was Kyle Thomas, the astrologer, and Carney Wilson. My app was messing up. So I was out shopping. Well, I'd finished shopping with my sister-in-law and started the app on my way home, about a 15 to 20-minute drive. And I get home, have the app playing on speaker, and as I'm like taking out the stuff that I bought, and all of it was on a little bit of a delay. I was already 30 minutes into I'd been to the first commercial break, come back from the first commercial break. They talked for a few minutes, and all of a sudden, it was not Luennell and Justin Martindale. And I'm like, that is Kyle and Carney at the second hour. So I rewound, got to the next place. It did it again. And I'm like, this is so annoying. So from then, I just listened the rest of the show. And I thought when the hour comes up on the app in a couple of hours, I'll have to go back and re-listen to it. Got it to work finally, but it was so annoying. Posted on the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. Other people were having issues also. It was just, I'd never had that issue. If anything, it goes to the current, which I guess is what it was done. But this time it went to the same place on where Kyle Thomas and Carney Wilson were talking, which was super annoying. So second hour, I'm not into astrology. It doesn't interest me. All the things that he says, I don't know that it's going to come true. If it does, I don't know. There's nothing in it for me to hear Carney's astrology or Shane's astrology or Jeff's astrology, because I just don't know that I'm going to remember all of those details. But he is, if I heard correctly, he's $325 for 3 minutes of a reading. And I was like, oh gosh, what's this going to get up to? But then an hour was only $225. And I'm like, wait a minute, 3 minutes for $125, an hour for $225, and an hour and a half very intense reading is $300. So I didn't think that was terrible. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. It's not me either. It's not just me. Mamio 59 says the second hour was painful. I'm not into astrology at all. And I just feel like there was no real personal stories of Kyle. Like he talked a little bit about where he lives. He lives at the base of Runyon Canyon. We know he's a gay man in Hollywood, but he didn't really talk about boyfriends or, he didn't really talk into specifics about himself. So, I haven't watched yesterday's C&K. I normally do body pump during it, but my two of my three are home from college right now. So we were hanging out, but my friend that I go to body pump with bailed on me. And she said, well, if you peer pressure me, I'll go. And I said, no, I'm not going to peer pressure you. So basically I was going to relax because you know, I felt great after having the colonoscopy yesterday, but the last thing I wanted to do was go to body pump, lift up a bar of weights or lift a 10-pound weight and have an accident. You know what I mean? So not that I was ever having that still, but I just thought it was a good excuse to be like, I had a colonoscopy this morning. Let me just hang out with my family instead. So that's what we did. Anyways, so it starts off him saying that you can reach him on his Patreon or on Kyle Thomas astrology.com to get specific readings from him. But he did Shane, he did Carney, and he did Jeff. He pretty much said that Carney is going to have some big success in June of 2026. Now, we know she had this TV show, this cooking show that was on some rando network that nobody ever knew how to. I didn't think it was on the network. It was maybe just on the app. I'm not real sure, but we never heard if that got picked up, if it's in works, if that's the direction she's trying to go, if she's trying to get more into music, if she's trying to tour more. I don't even know where the money comes from, but she talked about wanting to work on herself, that she's a big spender. So I'm not really sure where her thing is, like jewelry, clothes, you know, stuff, shoes, you know, real estate. I don't really know where she likes to spend, but yeah. Southern Belle says, I wouldn't go to a yoga class either after a colorectal testing, just assuming. Yeah, I mean, it was fine, but I just didn't want to. I felt like I deserved the day off. I'm just being super lazy and super hanging out with the family at Christmas. With Shane, I guess we're all in this unpredictable eclipse, and good things can happen, bad things can happen. Yeah, it was like Access TV, AXCESS. It was something like that. You know what I mean? Anyways, and it basically said Shane can either get engaged to his boyfriend Brogren, who he's very much in love with, or they could break up. So I'm assuming they're going to get engaged. I used to do body combat and love it, but I kept injuring myself as I get older, so I had to quit work. I used to do body pump and body combat. Which one's body attack? I don't know that we ever had that one. Definitely did body combat. Lots of kicking and yes, love that. Jeff was not such a good reading. I'm not sure he's liking it because Jeff is super into astrology, super into psychics, tarot readings, you know, coffee readings, all of that. Pretty much, Kyle Thomas said nothing big's going to happen for Jeff until August 25. Well, Jeff needs more money than that, and Jeff needs a lot more to do. So maybe instead of doing just one chump con, he'll do multiple chump cons. I don't know. But he also said it's not a good time for relationships. So I don't know. Thought that was interesting. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, what y'all want to chat about. I love that. Raquel says, today is Sarah's Kelowna's party. Can't wait to hear about it. Yeah, I hope some really fun stuff happens. I'm just curious also, it did seem like Justin Martindale tried to bring up the fact that they were at Kathy Hilton's party, which was, again, a little awkward because Lynell was like, why wasn't I invited? I'm like, dude, like, why are they to answer why you weren't invited? Like, you know, apparently DirecTV sent out the invitations. It was a very influencer heavy party. It was very much a who's who. So it wasn't like personal. This is not Kathy Hilton's personal friends. You know what I mean? Wait, what? I mean, but August is a long time to go before even filming, because that means the show wouldn't come out for so long, right? But that is a long time. LTD says maybe August he'll start filming his next show. I would like to try Pilates, but I don't want to pay the price for Pilates. And I think there's real Pilates with those machines that are more rare and more expensive. And then there's the fake kind of Pilates classes. But I do love stretching. At 1:30 p.m. every day, 7 days a week, an alarm goes off on my phone to stretch. Now, did I do it today? I absolutely did not, to be honest with you. But look, 1:30 every day. Oh, it doesn't say. Well, yeah, stretch every day at 1:30. I love stretching, but I also have vein issues and very thick calves, so I don't want to get plantar fasciitis. When I gain weight like I have this whole year, I get plantar fasciitis. So I definitely don't want that to come on for sure. Southern Bell Cell says, if y'all are paying attention to psychic mediums, you better get reverse osmosis machine in the US. They're putting bad stuff in the water. Hasn't there always been bad stuff in our water? I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I think they were kind of told to post about the party and tag DirecTV in it, all the thing, take the picture with the DirecTV. But if there was this big, incident between this fight with James or spectacle with James Kennedy and his girlfriend Allie at that party, I'm shocked nobody would take a video or a picture of them. You know what I mean? Especially, I'm sure there was content creators there that are in the whatever. So yeah, Debbie Kate said, Justin's my favorite. I really wanted to. I've heard of, hey Sharon, how are you? I've heard of stretching classes. Is that what that is? Sharon is someone that lives near me and she's a good friend. She's really sweet. I don't know, but I just stretch on my own, to be honest with you. I'm not going to take a class to stretch, but I have seen, well, I don't know at my gym if I've seen stretching classes, but anyways. Oh, you think they signed NDAs at that party, Andrea? I don't know if they would have. I don't think so because I don't know. I don't know. I think they wanted all the, I have no idea. What's an NDA to do? Like if you say something bad about someone, an NDA doesn't mean you can say something good, right? You can say, I don't know. I don't understand NDAs. I've never signed one. No idea. Anyways, well, let me know. Either send me a message. I don't think there's a way to send messages on YouTube or the podcast, but on Instagram, I'm Sarah from Texas Podcast. You can definitely send messages there. You can definitely send messages at TikTok at Sarah from Texas Podcast. It's just easier for me to check my Instagram messages for one thing. But, oh, I have heard of that. Sharon says it's a one-on-one stretch. They stretch you. I mean, if I were just had all the money in the world, I'd pay someone to do everything for me. But I think I'd rather pay my kids to stretch me than pay a stranger. I don't know. Anyways, bye, Diane. I don't know. I would feel like they wanted anyone to talk to anyone about that party, about the DirecTV party, to promote it, but I really don't know. And then it gets interesting because it's a very touchy topic of domestic violence, right? So it gets very tricky with, her rights as a victim. So, and what have you. But of course, she's saying it was a misunderstanding, which is often sometimes what people say just to stay together and what have you. So I feel like stuff will start coming out because Kristen Doty has nothing to lose at this point. She's engaged, or are they engaged? Whatever. She's pregnant by what's his face's baby. She's moved on. Rachel Leviss has moved on. She's got a lawsuit. I feel like if anything, this fuels the lawsuit and maybe adds to the idea that they have been protecting him in bad behavior. But then again, what's a reality show without bad behavior? We know that's what's encouraged. They don't get in trouble for throwing a glass across a table, which could be a weapon for sure. That could be like throwing a knife to throw and break and yet they're encouraged to do stuff like that. So I don't really know where this is all going to lead with that. Justin didn't say anything about Heather McDonald, but I'm sure they just avoided each other profusely, like, because we know that Heather McDonald was there. So yeah. Anyways, Rachel has a lawsuit against NBC and Universal specifically. I believe she also has one. I think Tom is mentioned in it, Tom Sandoval, in the fact that she says he shared or recorded her without permission. So I don't know where the legal part of that gets into it for sure. Deja Monet said, does that mean that things didn't work out with Jeff and the doctor in San Diego? Doctor, I don't know. There's so many men he's talked about. I literally need a spreadsheet and I haven't cared to start a spreadsheet. So I don't remember a doctor, but there's so many guys. I just can't remember who all he's been dating and who didn't work out. We just know he mentioned the guy the other day that's not taking no for an answer, and he's kind of like getting a little bit concerned, if you will, that the guy keeps on texting, wanting to get together, and Jeff's like, no, I've been very clear. So anywho, okay, well, we're going to wrap things up. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Please send me any messages, any advice stuff to asksarahfromtexas@gmail.com. You can also send it to me on Instagram, but I do prefer the email. That way I can keep it there. And I think Friday afternoon's a good idea to do it, maybe even half the show. But we'll figure it out, just because there's really no shows that I watch on Thursday. So we could just not talk about whatever the reality TV show I had watched, just do Jeff Lewis and the advice. So maybe that timing will work out. We will see. But have a great weekend. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, hit the like, comment. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast. See you on Monday. Bye, Chumpettes.